Okay, so vlog number 3 on the Nangee Model tugboat build, and this vlog is dedicated to the installation of the Kort and the prop shaft, because what you see here, hopefully, is that the propeller has actually arrived. Took around about 10 days, so quite a bit quicker than they said on their initial acceptance of the order, but that means I can get on with getting this installed. And once this is all in and the motor is in, I can then actually start gluing the decks down and then get on with actually sealing those in, which will be quite a long job, I feel. I do have the motor somewhere. There we go, missed the motor. So the motor at the moment is here. I've mounted them up on 3 layers of 1/8 inch ply, and it will sit inside there. You can see in there, hopefully somewhere near as close as you can to the bottom of the hull to give it more stability. And this is where my problem starts to occur. So we'll just screw in the Kort nozzle. So the Kort nozzle goes in there. This is then held in place via a little arm here, which will flip over for you. And we do him up. And that's how that's held in place. So you can see I'm down here underneath. Now I believe these propellers should be pretty much at right angles to the Kort. And if I do that, I've got a little bit of cereal packet, actually Weetabix packet cut up, 2 strips of that to actually act as a filler and centralise the propeller in the Kort. But you can see, hopefully, with that in there, with the propeller at right angles, I am sitting right underneath the hull. And that's not good, because where it needs to go is inside the hull, up to the motor. So it's inside there. You can see, hopefully, that the angle there is not very good, and I think that's bad for the propeller and the propulsion, because the water may cavitate. The blades of the propeller are not sitting at right angles to the Kort. Now I could have mounted this Kort on the side, I guess, at an angle. The problem with doing that is that this arm here, that's the steering arm, would then be sat at an angle and working at an angle instead of horizontal, which might not be good for the control system. I could grind this back a fair bit to push this up a little bit. The problem with doing that is that the top of this then hits into the decks, so I could grind off a little bit of that to make that work. It is stainless, but I'm sure I can grind it off. Shouldn't be too much of an issue, and that might give me some room. So my only other option after that is to cut off where the stern tube holder glues onto the Kort and file/grind this all back to give me sort of like an 1/8 of an inch distance in there. It might be that I've got to do both those 2 things and slowly build this up to get the angle right on this. Inside, I'm not sure how well we can do this. Okay, it's not too bad. So inside there's So inside this little adapter here screws on to the end of the propeller. I've got these, there's another support that actually goes in here as well. That's got to be cut down a little bit more, I think, to get this close to the bottom. The prop shaft should go through there and be glued into place. And then the motor I'll probably plan to mount at an angle. There's a little rubber coupling goes in between. So that goes in between, so I want to try and get them lined up, which means I have to tilt it a little bit, which isn't the end of the world. That's not too much of an issue, it's still quite low down. I might, as I change this angle, I might find that I've actually got to cut off some of these layers for this, so that the motor will actually sit lower. So a little bit of an angle isn't too much of an issue. Now the other thing that you do notice with the Kort nozzle stuck so low down is that the stand that my dad made up isn't tall enough, so there'll need to be a little bit of modification there. Okay, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again in installment 4 on the tugboat build.